Hey Dan, perfect. Okay, so let's break this down into stages. First thing we're going to do here is I'm just going to give you a quick tour of the library, the sliders, full screen slider, and the CSS. Okay, down the very bottom here, this is where we need to concentrate. We have media queries in here that target certain resolutions and sizes and things like that. Okay, so this one right here, that is phone up to, but not a tablet and portrait. So this is for all phones right down here where it says media min width 0, max width 767. And then we move up just a bit here, and this media query right here, that targets tablets in both portrait and landscape, right? And then we have a special one up here, which is um, the sort of the main styles for anything that's going to be in a mobile. Okay, so what we want to do here is for the phone, we want to get rid of um, the text, right? So let's just find out what that text is, right? And find the name of it. And I use, I can never remember, so I always go with Firebug here. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do is just change the speed at which this rotates, so then I can actually capture some stuff there. So I'm going to go slider, interval, add an extra 0 there for now, leave this page open so we don't forget, and then I can go back and boom. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through a couple of things here, and I'm going to dig up the information and show you what to modify. Okay, so we want to hide basically the description, the SL description. There is the class right there, and all I'm going to do is just in Firebug is just copy rule declaration. So I'm just going to double click here, or copy property. Oops, no, copy rule declaration. Go back to thing here, go back to the bottom, and right here above this closing bracket, paste that in. Now I can do things like this. Display none. So what I'm saying is for phones, the description, don't show it at all. So if I refresh this, it should go away when I resize down. And it does. Okay, so it leaves the title and it leaves the site down here. Now this we may want to get rid of as well. So let's go find out what that is. This is the one right here, SL site, SL site. So this one is already probably at the bottom of the page because it's a higher number, because sometimes I'm just too lazy to look. So if I scroll up, remember I said this is portrait to landscape, this is phones, and this is common up here to everything. Well, what we can do is this subtext, this site right here, this subtext. All right, let's just change this from font size to display. Don't worry, I'm just going through the motions with you here, just so you know what I'm doing. But basically all I'm doing is to break it down is I'm finding out what the class of the text is, and I'm saying at this resolution or this media query, don't show it. Okay, and the other thing is this shadow here. Okay, and that is the SL shadow, I believe. Yes, and that's line 584. There it is right there. We're going to go display none as well. I'm going to send you a copy of the style sheet, so don't worry about all the changes I'm making here. There. See how clear that see how that really clears things up? So what I did was SL shadow display none, and that was the last thing on that. Remember the common for these common styles that I have here for mobile. SL shadow was right there. It had a position and one graphic. I just grabbed all that stuff and changed it to display none. And when working on mobile, there's 2 or 3 common styles I use all the time to rearrange. Number 1 is things I don't need, display none. 2, width of 100% and position relative. So if things are positioned absolutely, you want to position them relative and have them take up 100% of the screen so they stack on top of each other. All right. So now we can start to really clean up this this interface here. Now the other choice you have here is the height of your image. Let me just go up here. See this height right here of this SL slider wrapper? If I actually copied this style here and went down to the bottom of the page, I'll probably find a duplicate. There it is right here. See that 500? Watch this. If I change this to 300 and a number below it to 300, this is for phones only, right? And I refresh, let's just see what happens. There, see how the image is now scaled a lot better? And you see how like almost the entire picture is in view. The problem is this text right here is still too big. We may want to get rid of this text here as well, right? Which is the title, right? Or we could change the size of the font, right? So there's the title right there. Let's go to the size of the font. Let's make that 20 pixels. Okay. And I'm looking to see line height of 1 because we're changing the font size. There we go. See, now we can do that, and we can really start to play around with things here, and also get rid of the top and the bottom as well. So I'm just going to tweak this out to I think where it looks good for you, then I'll send you the style sheet. Okay, so Mr. My site, I'd probably go with this compromise right here. Smaller logo, tagline goes up top, text in the center, right? And then when you bang from image to image to image, everything looks a little bit clearer. You get the main pick right there, and you're not really losing out on anything, right? So I would say go with that. I'll send you the style sheet. But just so you know, what I did is I actually tacked in here the website name updates as well to the very bottom. The reason being is for the page that has the slider, you really need to resize that logo so everything fits as well. Maybe the other pages you don't. So you can also copy this from the bottom of your FS slider into the site styles. I think it's the styles.css. Just gonna look and see there. Image thumb. Phone, there it is right there, yeah. So there's your stuff right there, but you could also copy it right in down here at the bottom. Where does it go? Nope, that's yeah, if you need it for your other style sheets, you could probably do that as well. Yeah. You could actually just copy this whole thing here, this whole media query, into the very bottom of the styles.css if you think that's going to help. Anyways, that's the tweak. And if you look through here, you'll see that the shadow, what you're talking about in the other question, in the media query at the bottom, I've set it to display none. So the SL shadow display none. So I'll send this to you, the style sheet to you, you drop it in your site, and see what happens.